اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد وعلى آل سيدنا محمد وبارك وسلم. رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقه قولي. رب زدني علما، رب زدني علما، رب زدني علما. يا فتاح يا عليم افتح لنا فتحا قريبا. رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقه قولي. آمين يا رب العالمين. We were covering the Makhaarij al-Huruf. In the last session, we covered the main regions from where the letters come from, and we understood we have 5 those regions. These are the main areas from where all the letters of Arabic alphabets come from. So we have the empty space in the mouth and the throat, which is called al-jawf, the throat, al-halq, the tongue, which is called al-lisan, the 2 lips, al-shafatan, and the nasal cavity, al-khayshum. And we covered about al-jawf first. We have covered al-jawf, and from the al-jawf comes the letters which are called the mud letters, alif, waw, and the ya. Alif always stretches the haraka fatha before it. The letter waw sakina stretches the sound of the dhamma before it, and then the ya sakina that stretches the sound of the kasra before it. When we stretch them, we stretch them for 2 harakat, and we understood that the makhraj for these letters, which is alif, waw, and the ya, huruf al-madda, they come from the empty space in the throat and the mouth. So you can see this is colored in blue and green. This whole hollow place, the empty space, is the makhraj for these 3 letters. In today's lesson, inshallah, we will try and cover the letters which come from al-halq, the throat. Now, the throat has been divided into 3 parts, which is called the bottom of the throat, the middle of the throat, and the top of the throat. In Arabic, we have the terms aqsa al-halq, wasat al-halq, and adna al-halq. This is further explained in English. Aqsa al-halq, which is at the, here you can see it, aqsa al-halq at the end. Furthest point in the throat, the bottom of the throat, or the furthest point in the throat. Then wasat al-halq, the area of the epiglottis, which is here. Adna al-halq, which is the nearest part, nearest towards the opening of the mouth, area of the soft palate and the root of the tongue. So in terms of tajweed, in the context of tajweed, the halq, the throat, starts from where the root of the tongue is and the soft palate, from here up until the vocal cord area. This whole part is considered as the throat. Yes, because in normal understanding, we believe that the throat is from here till here maybe, but that's the neck part. However, from the tajweed point of view, the throat is considered from here till here. So we got 6 letters coming from this region. So this is divided into 3 parts. So it means it has 3 makhaarij. So al-aqsa al-halq has 2 letters coming from here, hamza and ha. From the middle, which is wasat al-halq, that's 1 makhraj for 2 letters, ayn and the ha. And from top of the throat, which is adna al-halq, again this is another makhraj, 2 letters, ghain and the kha comes from here. So in total, we have 1, 2, and 3 makhaarij, 3 points, 3 articulation points for these 6 letters. Okay, to understand this part, aqsa al-halq, which is the part where the vocal cords are located, 2 letters, hamza and the ha, come from here. So let's learn in a little more detail about what this vocal cord is. and how the letters Hamza and the Ha come from here. So you can see this is the picture of the original vocal cord. So you can see the three different shapes of the vocal cord. The vocal cord is uh, an organ in our throat which helps us to make sound. Yes, we speak through this by using this vocal cord. If we don't have this vocal cord, we will not be able to say anything. We will not be able to make sounds, different sounds. So this is located towards the end of our throat. Yes. So let's see. This is completely closed. Yeah, it has two parts, right and left. So this is a completely closed vocal cord. Here it's slightly open, as you can see. The gap is little, but it's open because it can open and close. Open and close depends how we are using our sound. When we are breathing with a large amount of air, we inhaling, yeah, we're breathing in, then this is how much it can open. Yeah, the more air you need to take in, the vocal cord will open up more to allow you to, you know, to breathe in, to take the air in. So here, this is the position of the vocal cord when you hold your breath. So when you're not breathing, you're holding your breath, the vocal cords will be closed completely. So you can try holding your breath for a moment and see how you feel at the region where your vocal cords are. I want you to feel the vocal cord. Yeah, you can feel it. Hold your breath for a while and see how do you feel, how your vocal cords are working. And then you can abruptly open it. So you breathe in with a large amount of an air and then hold your breath in there. You'll feel all of a sudden something in your throat is closing up, which would be this vocal cord. When you saying a sound, like for example, you make any sound, yeah, in a low tone, this is how your vocal cords will open up because you're making sound. And when you inhale, obviously, as I explained that, when you're breathing in, then this is how it opens up. So we have three different shapes here. Open during inhalation, close when hold breath, and vibrate when make sound. Two letters, Hamza and the Ha, comes from here. Let's see about Hamza. So we have a Hamza with a haraka on it, and we have a Hamza with the sukoon on it. So the vocal cord, it works slightly differently, depends on how the Hamza is being used. For example, the vocal cords should be completely closed when Hamza is in a state of sukoon. Why? You can't read Hamza Sakina on its own. We know the letters which have a sukoon can't be read on its own. You need to join it with something before it that has a haraka. So here as well, if we want to give an example of Hamza Sakina, obviously you need to read something before it to connect to the Hamza Sakina so that you can make a sound. So here, to pronounce this letter, I gave this example of the word ya-ba. Ya-ba. So look, you're starting off with the letter ya fatha, ya. But when you connecting to the Hamza, now all of a sudden, your vocal cords will be completely closed and the sound will not continue. There won't be any sound and there won't be any air traveling. So it's a complete closure of your vocal cord, meaning your sound will be stopped and your breathing will be stopped abruptly. Yeah, and make sure you do not shake your vocal cord when you're reading it, and let the vocal cords be completely closed in this state, like how you can see in this diagram in the picture. Ya, ba, ya, ba. Say it a little louder to understand how it works. Ya, ba, nasha, nasha, qara'ta, qara'ta. So the common mistakes which the students do is that they shake the hamza, means they not allow the vocal cords to be completely closed, and the sound will come like yaba, yaba, nasha, nasha, qara'ata, qara'ata, like as if it has a qalqala, the sound gets bounced, which is a mistake. So we have to read the hamza sakina like firmly, yeah, and give it a kind of a jerk that you know you can use these words to explain to another person or to understand yourself. That how it works is like a jerk. Ya, 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 ba, nasha, qara'ta. I hope this is clear now. Hamza with the fatha, kasra, and the dhamma is different, as you can see. Here the vocal cords were completely closed. Here you can see the picture, the vocal cords are open, they are not completely closed. The reason being, when you're reading Hamza Sakina, you attach that letter with another letter. So when you're reading the Ya Fatha, for example, obviously the Makhaarij is open, you're saying Ya, Ya, Ya. So voice is continuing, your sound is continuing, there is some breathing as well. So, but when you reach to this letter, it gets closed from open to the closure part. Ya, Ya, Ya. In this case, you start off with closed vocal cord, but then you end it with opening. How? So hold your breath, let it be closed, and then open it abruptly. Ah, I, U. So for the letter Hamza, there is no breathing. Yeah, there shouldn't be any air accompanying with this letter. It has a shiddah. This letter has a, this is a strong letter, so you should not say it like lightly, like how you say the letters of hams, where the letters have breathing, accompanying with the sound of the letter. So this letter falls under those letters which do not have any air. So it's purely sound-based letter. So you hold your breath, let your vocal cords be closed, and then sound out, like make a sound. Ah, I, U. Ah, I, U. Ulaika, ulaika, like that. So you have to make clear. The hamza should be clear. Ah, I, and U. I hope this is clear now. As for the letter ha, because we got two letters from the vocal cord area, Al-Halaq, we have hamza, and the other letter is ha. So you can see the letter ha can be written like a circle, as you can see, or it can also be written in this shape, yeah, with the, it looks like a tie or a butterfly shape. So let's see how the ha is pronounced from this area. The ha is pronounced with the partial opening of the vocal cords. There is some friction or rubbing of the vocal cords as the air travels through the small opening. Unlike the letter hamza, the letter ha doesn't have the closing of the vocal cords. So it remains open, and you leave a little tiny gap between the two folds, like here and here, there's a tiny gap, as you can see. And then you make a sound. So you'll feel there would be some friction because the opening is not large, it's not too much, it's just a tiny bit. So what will happen, this will vibrate, and a rubbing or a friction would be felt. How? Like this. Ha, he, who. Ha, he, who. And with the sukoon, you carry on the sound for a while. Ah, ah, ah. Muhtadina, muhtadina. Ha, he, who. make sure when you're reading the letter ha, you do not squeeze your throat. Yeah, if you're squeezing your throat, what will happen? The sound will change into the letter ha, which is a common mistake. This letter comes from the vocal cord, as you can see, from the Al-Halaq area. So the function, the vocal cord is used to bring the sound of the ha. So the moment you squeeze your throat, you do not reach the right makhaarij. So as a result, you'll get the sound of the letter ha, meaning you're changing a letter. This will result into the change of the meaning of the word, which will impact the meaning of the word, you're reading. So to practice this letter, the sound of the letter to come right, you just don't need to do much. Just relax and ease your muscles and make a sinking sound like ha, ha, he, who, ah, like that. Okay, one more thing about this letter is this letter gets deleted or not pronounced when this letter comes at the end of the word when you're stopping. For example, the word is sa'ah, sa'ah. So sin fatha alif, sa, ain fatha, ha sakina, al-qari'ah, al-qari'ah. As you can see, there's a ha sound at the end. So we need to make it clear that you pronounce the ha at the end. If you do not carry on with the sound and the a to flow for a while after the word is said, then most likely the letter ha would not be pronounced properly. Means this will get deleted in your sound. So pay attention when the ha has a sukoon that you need to carry on with the sound and the a. The air actually continues and the sound will be heard. Ah, ah. Even in the middle, when you are reading the letter ha sakina and it has a letter with a dhamma before it, so you round your lips for the dhamma, but the moment you come to the letter ha, do not keep your lips rounded. So unround your lips and let the ha flow. Muhtadina, it's easier in that way. If you leave your lips rounded, you won't be able to carry on with the ha for a while, like how we need to let it continue. Muhtadina, so you need to unround your lips for the ha sakina. From the middle of the throat, which is here, that part, middle of the throat, the wasat al-halq, ain and the letter ha comes from here, and you can see that part is called area of the epiglottis. Here we learned about the vocal cord. Now we need to learn about this organ, which is called epiglottis. It is important to know our organs so that we can practice the right sounds from the right regions, inshallah ta'ala. So the letter ain and the letter ha, both of them come from this region of the epiglottis, which is the middle part of your throat. So what is the mechanism of pronouncing these two letters? So let's see with the letter ain first. So the epiglottis, which is located beneath our tongue, as you can see here, this one is located at the base of our tongue, at the root of our tongue. So you can help yourself, press here. So this will get pushed back towards the back wall of your throat. Do not press too much, means do not squeeze your throat too much so that the whole makhraj is closed. We need to leave a tiny gap so the sound can pass through. So this gets pushed back, yeah, towards the back, and you make the sound of ah, ah, ri, ru, ah, ah, ri, ru, ah, ain, ain, ain. So you focus on this area. Some of the sisters can say ain very easily. It's hard actually for them to say the hamza sound. Like saying ah will bring naturally for them. But there are some other sisters, they would definitely struggle, like myself in the beginning, how I struggled to bring the sound of the ain. So I used all those hints and tips and techniques to bring my sound for the letter ain. So you press with the two fingers, yeah, you apply an external force by pressing here. So when you apply pressure here, you press it, this will get pressed, so you can help the epiglottis to move back and say ah, 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 inshallah ta'ala. Slowly this muscle will get trained, yeah, because we need them to be worked out. We do not normally use, in our language, we do not have the similar sound of the ain, so these muscles are not used, therefore sometimes it gets hard to bring the right sounds. So apply pressure here, and then try using this muscle as much as you can during your daily routine. So once you get it done, you will feel like one day, inshallah, your ain will get better, and you'll be able to say it without needing to press externally, yeah, from applying an external force. You'll be able to say it, inshallah, with a lot of practice. So the ain will be pronounced from this area. So there is more pushing with a tiny gap between this muscle, epiglottis, and the back wall of your throat. So this dot, the white dot, shows you that there is this tiny gap here, and how much is the pushing towards the back wall. Now, we need to leave a small gap, as I said. If the epiglottis is not pushed back, then the sound will resemble like alif. Like if you have the word ad, ad. So if you're not able to say the ain properly, the sound will come like ad, ad, like hamza, fatha, like that. And if the ain is in the middle, like for example, I have the word Rabbil Alameen, Alameen, Rabbil A. So if you're not able to say the ain properly here, the sound will be like Rabbil A, Rabbil A, Rabbil A, like that, which is wrong. If the ain comes at the end, for example, the word is Raji'ihi, innahu laq. Hold on, let me get it right. The word is raji', for example, raji'. And if you're not able to say the ain properly at the end, because we're making the ain sakin due to stopping reasons, the ain will be turning into the hamza sakina. For example, raja', raja', like that, which is a wrong sound. Again, do not abruptly close your vocal cords for the ain, because ain is unlike the hamza sakina. It has nothing to do with the vocal cords. Vocal cords is only helping you to make a sound, but how much you need to make a sound depends on the letter. For the ain, it needs to flow. The sound needs to flow for a while. Yeah, it doesn't stop abruptly, and it doesn't continue like indefinitely, like forever. It doesn't have rikhawa, it doesn't have a shidda, it's in between. It's a letter of tawassut, so it's in between. It's a partial flowing of your sound, so you need to carry on for a while. Do not leave it too abruptly. These were the common mistakes for the letter ain. Another technique that you can use is you can you can put, maybe you can use a pen or a pencil or any clean thing. So you can push, you can place that pencil here at this place of your tongue and help yourself to push the tongue back. Yeah, push the tongue back with that pencil, and let's see how the sound comes, inshallah ta'ala. Inshallah ta'ala. Yes. Do not make the ayn heavy. Yeah. Do not say just to bring the ayn. I know some sisters do make the right sound, but the only mistake would be that they are making it heavily. Yeah, they're bringing the heavy sound. And why the ayn becomes heavy in its sound is because the back part of the tongue is raised. Yeah, and the middle is curved. Yeah, there is a concaving of the tongue, and the back of the tongue is raised. So this will bring a heavy sound for the ayn. But the ayn is not a heavy letter, it's a light letter. It's a muraqqaq letter. It shouldn't have isti'la, it shouldn't have a tafkhim in it. So to keep it light, try to keep your tongue flat, as you can see it here. Try keeping it flat. Open your mouth for whatever the haraka is placed on the ayn, and then you can read it accordingly, inshallah ta'ala. The next letter, ha, again we have two letters from the middle of the throat, which is the wasat al-halq, ayn and the ha. In both cases, the epiglottis is pushed back. Yeah, here again, as you can see, the white dot. But in case of the ha, the epiglottis is not pushed back as much as is for the ayn. For the ayn, it's more squeezing, more pushing, but for the ha, it's slightly less. This is the reason it's easier to say the letter ha than the ayn. Yeah, and there's a lot of a. There's a lot of a for the letter ha. Ha, it travels. The sound of the ha travels with the a. You can see, and a large amount of air is expelled. Ha, ha, he, hu, ah. As you can see, as you can hear it. So epiglottis is pushed back, but not the same extent as is ayn. If the ha is not pushed back enough, then the sound would be like the letter ha, ha, ha. So this would be a common mistake, to change the letter ha into a ha, or the vice versa, because some of the students, when the letter ha and the ha comes together side by side in a word, so they do pay attention to one sound, like perhaps the letter ha, but they would not be able to change it, the position of the tongue and the haraka, the makhaarij of the letter neighboring it. So if the word is sabbihu, so what happens in this case is either the word is sabbihu, either in this way it is pronounced, like changing the ha into ha, or changing sabbihu, changing the ha at the end into ha, like keeping the same sound for the two different letters. That's a common mistake. So we need to work on both the sounds. We need to be able to read it properly. Sabbihu, sabbihu. It's a different sound for the ha and the ha. Another common mistake for the letter ha is that if we do not make it light, the letter will be like ha, 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 which is heavy sound. Yeah, we need to keep it light by keeping our tongue flat. Again, we keep our tongue flat. We should not be making it heavy. Okay, this is a picture for the epiglottis. It's slightly different than the one that I have shared before. So just give you a realistic view of how this region looks like. So pay attention to these three areas. So this is, as you can see, this hole or a slit in the throat. This is called the vocal cord. That area is the vocal cord, the bottom of the throat, for the purpose of our makhaarij in the throat. This is the middle of the throat, which is the epiglottis area. So this can be pushed back. Yeah, this goes up and down if you push it. You know, when we're eating something, so we have two passages. We have one passage which is called here the larynx. When we're breathing in, the air comes and goes out from this part, but when we are eating, it's not the same passage which is used. You will see the eating, the food will go down to its own food pipe, and this epiglottis will come down and would guard the opening of our vocal cord. So it can, you know, come down, it can fold, it can go back, you know, it can move up and down. The best way is to, if you can go on YouTube and write and search the function of the epiglottis, the function of the epiglottis. So let me help you with this. If you go on YouTube, yeah, and you write down function of vocal cords, for example, if you want to search for that, so you'll find lots of videos on YouTube. You can help yourself understand these organs. Different videos, tons of thousands of videos, you can find it online. Yeah, look here. So you'll see a real videos of the vocal cords, inshallah, and see how the vibration happens, how the sound is created. You can do the same for epiglottis, function of epiglottis. See, the epiglottis is turning down here. That's the epiglottis. That's the food going down. So you can always help yourself to know your organs in your mouth, in your throat, by going online and searching for that organ by writing its name. I cannot share these videos with the sounds because due to copyright issues, but I have given you some hints and idea how to do your own research. Yeah, you can help yourself in knowing your organs more so that you can work on getting the right sounds, inshallah ta'ala. Okay, so that was the two letters Ain and the Ha. Now we have the top of the throat, which is called the Al-Halaq, which is the nearest in the throat. The nearest in the throat means nearest to the opening of the mouth. So now you can see bottom, middle, and now we have a top. This organ again, try and search, is called the soft palate. That's the end of the soft palate, which is called uvula. Yeah, you can see this hanging when the kids cry with the mouth open. You will see something is hanging at the back of the mouth. Yeah, you can see that. This is called uvula. So the two letters ghain and the letter kha comes from this region. That's the posterior part of our tongue, the root of the tongue, and the soft palate. Both the letters ghain and the kha has a sifa of isti'ala, means now these are the two letters, needs to be pronounced heavily. It has the quality of isti'ala. Isti'ala means raising the back of your tongue towards the soft palate and concaving it from the middle. So what happens when the sound travels all the way from this part and reaches here, your tongue will help to move the sound towards that direction, towards the palate side. Yeah, the sound will go upward and then there would be an echo. Yeah, up and down, the sound would go up and down because you created this space for it to go up and down. The sound is not traveling out straight away because of this curve, so it goes up and down, creating an echo, filling your mouth with the sound, and as a result the sound will become heavy, full mouth, mufakham, tafkhim, whatever the word you can easily understand, and then the sound comes out. So two letters, ghain and the kha, will be pronounced heavily. Okay, so the mechanism, as you said, to pronounce the letter heavy is the back of the tongue is elevated, means raised. The throat is narrowed. You can see if you raising the back of the throat, the back of the tongue, the throat will get narrowed. You can compare it here. When the tongue is not raised from this end, there is such a wide space between the throat and the tongue. Yeah, it's wide from here. But when you're raising it towards the soft palate, this gets narrowed, as you can see it here. So middle of the tongue is curved or concaved. That's number 3. So raising the back of the tongue, narrowing the throat, and concaving the tongue in the middle. The sound is thickened and heavy, tafkhim. So if you're raising, you're squeezing in your tongue, means you're not spreading it out, you're squeezing it, raising it from the back, all of this will happen automatically. Yeah, especially try and bring this curve, because if you're not bringing this curve, the sound will still might not be heavy enough. So try to bring this good curve or a depth in the middle of your tongue. So the letter ghain and the kha. Okay, let's see the common mistake for these two letters. When we're saying the letter kha, it comes from that part of the tongue and the soft palate which is closer towards the mouth. Okay, this is closer towards the mouth, but the letter ghain comes further down, and this is closer towards the throat. It's right towards the end of the uvula and the back of the root of the tongue. You can see the two dots, the difference. The letter kha has an air with it, but do not exaggerate, do not overdo, do not use the makhaarij too much, like do not touch it, do not press on it too much, otherwise the sound will be more like a snoring sound. So let be a gentle touch, and let the sound and the air flow. Kha, khi, khu, akh. For the letter ghain, there is an opening, yeah, between the tongue and the soft palate. So we have the g sound as well, which I've heard some of the students, when they say the letter ghain, they make the sound like the g, which is wrong sound, means they are actually touching and blocking, they're attaching the tongue with the soft palate and blocking the sound like the g, which is a wrong sound, like a girl, like a g, which is a wrong sound. We do not touch it, we just bring it close towards the soft palate, but we do not touch it for the letter ghain. Yeah, you keep a slight gap between your soft palate and the root of your tongue, and let the sound flow, let the sound continue. Gha, ri, ru, agh, gha, ru, ri, agh. So you carry on with the sound for a while. These two letters are heavy, as I said. These are the first two heavy letters that we learned after al-jawf and al-halq letters. So inshallah ta'ala, in the next lesson, we will be covering the makhaarij of al-lisan. We have most of the letters and most of the makhaarij located at the tongue, than rest of the organs. So inshallah ta'ala, we'll try to learn them. So keep that in mind, that how we learned and divided the number of the makhaarij. Al-jawf has only one makhraj, means the empty space in the mouth and the throat, that hollow space that we see, that's one makhraj for 3 letters. And from al-halq, we learned the 3 makharij, which is aqsa lisan, wasat lisan, and adna lisan. However, we have 6 letters coming from those 3 places, hamzaha, ainha, and the ghain kha. So you can see al-lisan has more makharij and more letters coming from there. So this is an important session coming up, inshallah ta'ala. So inshallah, we will continue next time. Until then, سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك نشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت نستغفرك ونتوب إليك. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.